Greetings, fellow nuclear engineers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens. Episode 96. Warning, radiation ahead. So before I start, I want to mention I made some changes to this series. Not ones that you can play for yourself because it's self-made mods. So also it comes with a little spoiler. The next phase, as you can see, is called advanced shielding or radiation shielding. I actually realized my head's in the way, so you can't actually see that. But if I hid myself, you can see that the next phase is called radiation shielding. And the way this works is radiation is the same as toxic buildup, like standing in toxic fallout or on pollution or whatever. So what I did was created a little mod to add in some new clothing options. A radiation mask, which is quite literally just a war veil, slightly tinkered. And then, where is it? You know, I realize that I made a mistake. It should be craftable, but it currently isn't. Regardless, it doesn't really matter for this specific stream. But my point is, we are going to need to create radiation protection clothing in order to survive going forward. Because the next phase of the arc will kill us otherwise. So in preparing for the next arc upgrade, what we want to be doing is probably building a new farm dedicated to cotton and growing as much cotton as we can and obtaining the resources that we need for radioactive clothing protection. I also just re-triggered the arc overdrive so that we can burn more uranium. Basically, in order to upgrade, we need to burn 500 uranium total. There's one other thing about this next upgrade, which will be required, which is we'll need more arc components. I was not looking forward to going to the Ancient Arc over here and like murdering people, but I don't see that there's another way around that. So in preparing for the next upgrade, we need to go murder a bunch of villagers and grow more crops. So I was thinking of putting a grow light here and expanding the Eclipse farm a bit. So that's the grow light radius. Expanding the Eclipse farm to accommodate additional growing. What this also means is I would like a more direct path from our base to the farm. Meaning that this whole section is going to be closed off with a turret to be anti-sappered. And there'll be like a direct path between here and there. I'll be including the double installation eventually, but not on the first pass. The other thing is, I would say in the middle of the summer, upcoming summer, right now it's the 13th of spring, that would be the time to go to the Ancient Arc over here, where ambient temperature isn't going to be a problem for our people. Which also means we might want to expand our transport pod a bit, depending on how many people are out there. On top of that, we could launch in waves, do 2 waves of people, and then we're going to want to set up the mechanisms required to pod back home, but we can pod back home 1 pod at a time. So only 1 pod launcher and multiple pods, because we're not walking this. So that's some other work to be done. Just to give you the heads up. So knowing that we are expanding the farm considerably, I am going to need a lot more steel than I currently have. Because steel and components are the backbone of expansion, So let's turn the iron and the coal mining back on. And subsequently turn off the plasteel and gold. I'll have Fishpick finish this portion and then turn... Oh, no, he turned it off ahead of time. I'm going to have him finish the portion anyway. I'm keeping one of the walls from being built on so that they didn't lock themselves in. And then the idea here is this will be accessible from the base, which means we're going to want like a door maybe here. And then I'll even opt for... Actually, I'm not going to double insulate those. But something like that. And then within this area, we're going to do cobblestones. Because the entire thing is going to be hydroponic benches. I don't care that there's stony soil. We're not going to be using it. And yeah, there is a lot of territory out here. And the plan for this area is to break this down and have this turret cover the area to make it anti-sapper. Because this entire area falls under this turret. So basically, there's like an outdoor playground. Not that anyone wants to be outdoors in this weather, because God knows it's cold. So that's the plans for the immediate and medium distance future. Is setting us up with more growing opportunities so that we can stockpile cotton for clothing. And then raiding a village full of relatively innocent villagers. I'm also curious. Let me see how I can flex my... it's too bad I can't share the screen as easily. Flex my modding ability. While I play, see if I can't fix the clothing that I had is supposed to be able to be crafted. Now, I not to do that. But the TLDR is, and I'm going to use dev mode just to show you, but I'll remove it, is I added in a radiation jacket, which looks like a flak vest because I'm lazy and not an artist. Radiation pants, you guessed it, flak jacket. And then the war veil, which has been renamed to a radiation mask. And the jacket doesn't offer the same protective stats that a flak jacket would. It gives toxic environment resistance, which is essentially radioactive resistance, and it costs cloth, plasteel, and steel. Oh, you know what? It can be machined at the machining table. Hold on. I'm an idiot. Right. It's mostly metal, so I set it up to be made here. And it's still not here? Oh, I know why. Because I haven't researched flak armor. Duh! Alright, well, I'll show you later. Apparently, my modding prowess is amazing. So much so that I forgot that I can already make it. So, big flex. And also, small brain rad. That's all I'm going to say. Jens, thank you for the resub. And Oak, thank you for the gifted subs. Rise up for the resub, too. Yeah, I fixed the mod without having to do anything. That's the steward for you, right? Steward. Alright, well, let's get flak armor. The bug was between the chair and the keyboard. The bug was between the balding head and the beard. That was the bug. And I'm being as kind as I can be. Having a head cold and being sleep deprived is like a really bad combination, is all I'm going to say. Azaroon, thank you for the resub. So, here's the thing. If I don't add any additional pods for the pod drop raiders, we can send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 raiders, basically 2 per pod. The question I have for you guys is, should I add more pod launchers? Assuming that we attack in 1 wave and not 2. Or rather, I'll rephrase this. Should I only have 8 raiders attack the village? How's that? Properly rephrased? Because there's 2 other options. If the answer is no, which is we can alternatively launch in multiple waves or build more pod launchers. Both would work just fine. And Dom, thank you for the resub too. Damn, that's a reward. How is their steel going? No iron being mined. Okay. I mean, the miners have really high priorities, so I think it's only a matter of time. And you guys are about to lock yourselves in there. So let's not build that wall right now. Alright, there we go. Looking good. What is this? Rough slate? I didn't realize there was rough slate down here. And I might as well have the power grid have some redundancy. So I'm going to build in some redundancy now. Doesn't hurt to have redundancy. I'm also likely going to need some additional heaters, but I can put the heaters in this area. That ought to be just fine. And then the commonly used tunnels are supposed to have turret coverage. So I'm installing a turret there. I might also install, now that I think about it, a turret in this farm. So this farm is less likely to be breached by sappers. May not be a bad idea. All right, so you can kind of see how this is coming together, and it looks like you guys want only 8 raiders to attack the village. I'll probably send 2 brawlers, 6 shooters, send the best shooters, and plan for them to get home ASAP via pod drop or pod return. Is the fungus going to die from the light? Some of it may. This fungus may, but not all of it, because this light won't directly shine in there. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but we'll keep an eye on it. Now that we're doing the hops harvest, the hops planters that I have here is going to go to cotton. Because for all of the clothing that we're going to need to suppress the radiation, we're going to need a lot of cotton. So, to further talk about this, the lined jacket provides 40%, the lined pants 40%, and then the mask 35%. The jacket and the pants slow you down, and really doesn't provide any other benefit than radiation protection. And then the mask doesn't slow us down, so it makes sense to have the mask. I mean, ideally we would have the full set, because radiation is going to build up a lot. But worst case scenario, we can have 2 pieces and, like, somewhat survive. We'll see. See to keep. Thank you for the bits. Cheers. And that hop should help to replenish our dwindled beer amount. I can already see the brewery cooking up a lot. Where was our casks over here? Alright, how's our stone? It's actually looking pretty good. I was briefly worried that there wouldn't be enough, but it's fine. Inspire taming. Oh, great. I'll tame some snowmen. Ah, psychic trainer. Oh, one other change. Because they're now working together, the faction politics are now positive for both factions. I forgot to have to mention that. That due to the high levels of cooperation, that they're finally, this age of cooperating is ushering in happiness. Wishbringer, thank you for the reset. Now, the extra walling here is not for insulation, it's for turret coverage. So there isn't really any gaps in this turret coverage. If you were wondering. Oh, I've been making these plasteel? These are plasteel. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to make plasteel ones. And we do have a lantern opportunity for a lantern ceremony. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize I had a cut in that power. And for that, we are going to need a ritual spot outside somewhere. And honestly, this spot here is pretty good. Because it's now walled in. Participants. And I'll wait till nighttime, because the lanterns look cooler at night. I mean, who needs to release lanterns during the day, right? I would actually at this point say I'm going to rework the doors a little. Having a door here and a door here makes more sense. And having it be a wood door, it doesn't need to be a granite door. And I know that sets a lot of the base outside briefly, but I think given the outside temperature is only -43, that's not too much of an issue. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy that I'm saying only -43, but given that it gets down to like -100, -43 is balmy. Oh, the music. This is how I dance to it. Keep forgetting to mute that stuff. And it was beautiful. No thanks to the music, I'm sure. So with the grow light on, we'll see if the Nutrifungus suffers or not. I don't know whether it will, but we'll find out very soon. And then the other thing is, as I expected, we will indeed need some additional heaters to keep up, as I've significantly added a lot of volume to this, but I have not added any heating capacity. And C to keep, thank you for even more bits. Well, hot damn. I think it's wise to maybe keep combat command off cooldown, so that when we go fight the tribals for their stuff, we have his ability to bolster everyone. So these Nutrifungus is in fact will not survive. So I'll pave them over. But all this Nutrifungus is fine. So more or less what we had come to expect. Alright. Ooh, reactor. Let's refuel you. And we are building up, honestly, a straight up obnoxious amount of uranium. I kind of love it. We have to burn 500 uranium for the upgrade. And we've already burned 156. Alright, well, the next part of this is the grow benches. Maybe I don't want to lay it out like that. And actually, before we even bother with the grow benches, I would need to add heaters as well. Heaters is, if anything, maybe even more urgent, because without the heaters, we ain't growing. Updating the home zone to include this farm. And I must say, we really threw this farm together quick. My home zone is wrong in a lot of ways. I think it's okay now. Why are you out there? Oh, goodness me. Stay behind the walls, IR. You've got one leg. Imagine trying to, like, hop around deep snow with one leg. Like, just, honestly, the physics of that, how? Just how? So these heaters, 64, 68, 62, 70, 66, 60. We'll do 72 and 74. We'll try to keep it warmer. I mean, I got the power. Might as well. Drinks on you. Hope my throat is better. Throat is better. My head cold is now in my nose and sinuses. But hey, I can speak-ish. And I might need more heaters heading into the next winter. Because right now it's negative 40 out, which is really warm, all things considered. And I don't suspect it's going to stay that warm for me very long. Researching on the wrong bench? That I am. Why are you... It should be Research behind the walls, but not there. No wonder it was slow. Taking its sweet time. Another thing that we could make, it's a little luxurious, would be the flat screen TV. Although I might want to hold off until I actually have the grow benches built. Because the grow benches are going to take a lot of material, I think. The south wall is single insulated? That it is. You are correct, which is to be fixed shortly. So in terms of preparing to raid the tribals, we know we'll need to set up a pod launcher and pods to get back home. That's not going to be in the first launch because all the first launch is going to be the weight of our people. And then Axios is definitely going to go. Now the question is, I had previously mentioned not wanting to really risk Fishpick, because he's really the only one at this point who's got the skills and knowledge to upgrade the Ark. And I'm a little worried about risking him. So I have to keep that in consideration because, you know, if we were to lose him, it would be a devastating blow to our progress. I would need to train up Axios to be somewhat farming capable, or construction capable, I mean. Is the old upper farm single insulated on the north side? No. This is technically double insulation. The way that RimWorld calculates insulation is it's 2 tiles deep. So as you can see in every direction, it's 2 tiles deep. Diagonal doesn't count. So it doesn't look double insulated, but it is. Essentially the way it works is the temperature of a room averages out with the like 2 tiles away. So if 2 tiles away, if it's really hot or really cold, the room either warms up or cools down accordingly. Whereas the calculations, when it's 2 tiles away, doesn't use the external temperatures in the same way. Meaning that a structure like this, if I was to build walls like this is double insulated. Corners don't matter. Corners aren't calculated. So if this was made of walls with like a door here, that would technically be double insulated, and it doesn't get much better than that. The only other advantage to prevent heat loss is to put it with overhead mountain. The problem is, if you're trying to warm something up with overhead mountain, you're just asking for bugs. But if you're trying to double insulate for cold and you use overhead mountain, that it doesn't really get much better than that. As long as you are able to exhaust the heat. Because a lot of overhead mountain bases run into the situation where exhausting heat is difficult. Because if everything's overhead mountain, you can't really have a chimney very easily. Temp overlay for the new farm? Sure. It's technically all one room, so it's all one temperature. With that said, I probably do, in fact, need more heaters in here, I'd imagine. So I'm going to remove these 2 walls and replace them with heaters. Power consumption is really not a concern at this point. And if I end up with excess material, I might even try to heat the bedrooms up to be comfortable and heat the rest of the base up to be comfortable. I'm generating so much power at this point that I can just blow, like, I don't have even room for it. I'm generating 91,000 watts. I'm using a third of that. So once preparing for the arc upgrade is done, we can actually start to do luxury projects like illuminating everyone's room, heating everyone's room, so on and so forth. We can really start to bring the quality of life in the colony up considerably. It's just going to require me to do a little prep first. Because I need to prepare for the fight in the tribals, and then also all the radiation. We're fighting people, and we're fighting radioactive material. All right, it is the 2nd of winter, or summer, sorry, August. And I'm keeping an eye on that so that we are, as soon as we are able, we go and pod on over. And I think the fight is more or less straightforward, as they're tribals. We'll just use overwhelming gun firepower. Oh! Well, I did mention not really wanting to use fish pick for anything dangerous. Can Madsen make it in time? Yeah. Come on, Madsen. Those who do not fit can leave. Oh, these poor walls are getting... Oh, tannering! No, don't do that. That was easy. They did break a heater in there. But Madsen got, like, tickled? Yeah, he got tickled. I don't think he'll survive. I like how Slotus is like, and Fishpick, they just immediately get back to work. They're like, oh, what happened? I don't know. None my business. Alright, let's get the working heater up. And... yeah, more meat for the fine meals. Why not? Why not? So, as I expected, I'm basically out of steel. So we need iron and coal to replenish our steel count. I think I am, just because it's such a pain to walk out here where the uranium is, I'm going to turn off the uranium wing for the moment, and hope that Bryzit at some point scans uranium that is closer by. Alright, there's flak armor research, finally. So, the materials. We've got the lined jacket and the lined pants, which is steel, plasteel, and cloth, both of them. There is no lead. And then, of course, we've got the masks. So a full set for everyone. Let's do a quick calculation. Each mask is 20. We have 14 people. Let's round that up to 15. So that's 20 times 15, which is 300 cloth, which doesn't sound all that bad, assuming that we don't fail. And then each is 50 and 30, so 80, 100. So that's 1,400 cloth total that we need. Because a full set is 50, 30, which is 80, plus 20, 100. So it's 100 per person. So 1,400 cloth, 1,500 cloth. And you can see why I built a second farm. Because like 1,500 cloth, and on top of that, that's clothing that will wear out, and that's also assuming we don't need to replace our parkas, toques, pants, etc. So our cloth needs obviously have gone up considerably as a consequence. How do I have bugs in this climate? Well, they're underground, right? The deep drill infestation, they're underground. One might assume that underground is a lot warmer than above ground, geothermal energy and all. If you're wondering, realistically, RimWorld's too deep infestations are not temperature sensitive. It doesn't matter what temperature it is, they will always spawn. Whereas regular infestations are temperature sensitive, and if it's below -17, they will not spawn. 17 Celsius, that is. Ooh, I forgot. We have a lot of corpses left to clean up. JD. You mind? So the current priority is grow cotton and raid the nearby village. Growing cotton and killing a bunch of tribals makes me feel really American right now. Just saying. I didn't say a proud American, I just said American. I did want to make sure you understood that there's a difference there. What's my total colony wealth? 265k? Oh, speaking of which, breachers! Breacher creatures. Fortunately for me, they do not have any Doom level weapons. Alright, Axios is close to mortars. Tannering's close to mortars. So, Axios and Tannering, you're not part of the response. Everyone else out here. I don't want to line up and fight them that way, but I don't want them to breach into my farm, because their trajectory looks to be exactly going into my farm, which would be terribad. I also think it's fair to say Fishpick, given his knowledge and unique skills, really cannot be involved in these fights anymore. He just done too precious. Where's my mortars? You fired already? Oh yeah, you did. Wow! But perfectly missed. Seriously. I've never seen misses quite that amazing. I really don't know what else to say. I'm having everyone fall back. So what's going on here is I'm basically trying to offer them a target so that they're sort of stationary for the mortars to do their mortaring. Because if they're firing on Madsen, they're not moving necessarily. And then what I'll do is I'll line up my shooters, so whatever hole they end up reaching, I am ready to fight them big time. Alright, we are aiming phase. They're breaching here. Good splash. Wow, they really didn't take a lot of damage, though. Good splash. Oh, I did not mean to keep that door open, but that's fine. I'll fix that. Plus, we do have turrets that are spun up. So I'm having my guys hide behind the turrets on the east. And JD lost a finger. We'll sculpt it back. Jesus, Madsen, you cut off his head. What'd you do to the other one? Well, just bruised them to death. Yeah, let's get you guys here. Alright, how's my group? Doing okay. And they're fleeing. It was messy, but all's well that ends well. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Frostwardens.